Good afternoon, 1:30. We have a quorum, so I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Item to receive the minutes. Everybody look at that.
Motion to receive the May 16, 2024 meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion and a second. Cast your votes. All right, passed. Cindy, continuance request.
We have two on the continuance by staff or applicants. Item number 19, case number 15634, deferred till June 20th. And item number 20, case number 15648, deferred till June 20th.
Anybody here on either of those items? All right. And I didn't get anybody signed up to speak on those two. So I think we're ready for a motion.
Motion to defer case number 15634 and case number 15648 to the June 20th, 2024 meeting.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion and a second to defer. All right, those two are passed to June 20th. Request by the public. Kelly, I think you got one. Oh, go ahead. You stood up first.
Is it ready for us to cut for this item?
Oh, we're not on number one yet.
Oh,
Kelly, I saw something from you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman and members of the board, my name is Kelly Work. My address is 105 North Hudson, Suite 304. And I am here representing Candace and Roger Dodd in connection with their opposition to item B4, which is case number 15633. And I was engaged after the last hearing just last week, and the Dodds, Roger and Candace, live at 4701 South Post Road. They're out of state this week on a previously scheduled trip with their family. Actually, their daughter and son-in-law also live next door to them on Post Road. They also are out of state for this meeting. So they had requested and asked me to ask you all to postpone this hearing today until the June 20th meeting so that they could be present. And again, we're here in opposition to the application. I did submit a request via email to the applicant's representative on Friday, and he responded only this morning that they were inclined to go ahead with the application. So he's indicated that they do not consent. I had asked if they would consent. They're here today, as I understand it. So thank you.
Is the applicant here on that one? All right, come on up, please.
hello, my name is Merritt Baker, address 1709 Huntington Avenue, here with Sean Lisenberry. And we're back applying for a variance for the 5-acre lot size requirement. Before we think about continuing, we wanted to approach the board again and see if we could answer questions or discuss the matter further before we think about continuing again. So
I'm inclined to do it the other way around. Decide on the continuance first, unless you guys don't want to do it that way.
Right.
And also, as a reminder, we only have 3 members.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
That means you got to get 3 of 3
Yeah.
for anything.
So there's only 3 of us today, so you'd have to have a majority or
Oh, I see.
100% of the
Okay.
vote.
Yeah, the bylaws say 3 out of 5, so.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, we would be pleased with a motion for continuance then.
Okay. So you agree to a continuance?
Yep, just decide on a date.
Yeah, yes, I do. I agree.
For the next available hearing,
Should be June 20th.
20th?
June
Okay.
20th.
I've got some other folks signed up to speak, and what we're doing right now is deciding on whether or not to grant the continuance before we get into the merits of the case. Is there anybody who wants to address a continuance? Okay? Come on up, give us your name and address, and
My name's Bobby Sparks. I live at 5008 South Post Road. I do not want to have a continuance. I want to have it today. I want to get it done with today. I am the landowner that's closest to the house in question.
Okay.
I don't live 5 acres away. I don't live across the road up on the hill 5 acres away like the Dodds, or across the road, because I used to live in the house across the road that's been torn down, and then the Dodds. I live right, my property is right next to where the house is. And I did not measure it because I was afraid y'all would say, well, that's too close or too far or whatever. But it's out. I walk out my door, I see the house. It does not bother me a bit. I think this is turning into a rural lifestyle because everyone lives on acreages out there until the last few years. You can do what you kind of wanted to do as long as you come and got your permits and come and for your board. So I see no problem with getting it finished today. I'm sorry the Dodds are out of town and their family is out of town, but they knew, because we all got the letter the first time. If I knew there had been people who cared, I would have showed up the first time. But I didn't think anybody would care because I looked out, I see the house. If anybody cares, I thought, well, it'd be me. I don't care.
okay.
So that's all I have to say on that.
Okay. Anybody
you.
else want to address a continuance issue on this item? Yeah, go ahead, give us name and address and.
James Hester, 4712 South Post Road. I own the 10 acres just, here we go. I own the 10 acres just north of the property in question. I would also, because of their voices of the Dodds and the Rutledges, ask for there to be a continuance until the 20th.
Okay. All right. And we had an email protest from the Dodds already, right?
We had one at our first meeting,
Yeah,
and then
okay.
they submitted another one with
Okay,
an addendum to please continue.
okay, I did
And then
read that.
another applicant, Mr. Tyler, also sent one
Okay.
to continue.
Okay. But I think I heard you say you're okay with a continuance on behalf of the applicant.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. I think we're ready for a motion on the continuance request.
So it's number 4.
That'd be item number 4.
Yes.
And you're good with June 20th?
June 20th, 1:30 again?
Yeah, that would be the date. Right.
That's fine.
Okay. Motion to continue case number 15633 to the June 20th, 2024 meeting.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to continue this June 20. Cast your votes.
One quick question. How do I submit photographs?
Send them to Cindy or anybody in the staff.
Okay, I have photographs I would like y'all to see
Okay. Yeah.
next time. Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you back on June 20.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other requests for continuance from anybody else on any other case?
I had our applicant on number 11, 15642. He stated that he would want to withdraw his application.
Oh, number 11 is a withdrawal by applicant.
And he's out in the audience.
Okay. All right. No, I don't think we have to vote if you withdraw, right? Correct. You're withdrawn. You're welcome to stay. Okay. No consent docket, so I think we're ready for number 1.
Item number 1, case number 15644, is a request of Keith and Allison Holman for a variance accessory building regulations in the RA Single Family Residential District located at 10701 Tangle Root Way.
Come on up.
Hello. Keith and Allison Holman of 10701 Tangle Root Way. We are requesting a variance to the side yard setback for an accessory structure. Initially, it was communicated to us that the side yard setback for such structures was 10 feet. Upon completion of the building, it was changed to 25 feet, and it's not in any flood or utility easement, and no hardship to the city or neighbors. That's it.
Questions, comments from the board? Nobody signed up to speak on this one. Does anybody want to address the board on this application? Okay, I think we're ready for a motion.
I have a quick question. You were told that it was a 10-foot,
Yeah.
but yet it was actually 25. Who told you it was 10?
The city planning department.
Okay. I don't have any questions.
Just a point of clarification, just for me, in the summary of the application, it talks about that they want to do this for the whole neighborhood, but we're still operating just on one
I'm afraid
case
one,
at a time. Okay.
or at least that's one at a time. Okay. Any other questions, comments?
Your neighbors are all okay?
Yes.
There was no protest?
I didn't see any and nobody signed up. I think we're ready for a motion then.
Motion to approve case number 15644 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance.
Second.
A motion and a second. Go ahead and cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 2, case number 15651, is a request of Wade and Ashley Wagner for a variance to standards for accessory building regulations in the RA Single Family Residential District located 8200 Southwest 107th Street.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Wade Wagner, address is 8200 Southwest 107th Street. Similar situation, was issued a permit, and I completed construction, and now I'm requesting variance.
Anything from the board?
This one's 8 feet off of the property line,
Yes.
right? Is it same variance?
It is because they were going off the 5 foot.
Okay, nobody signed up to speak on this one. Does anybody want to address the board on this application? Okay, anything else from the board?
Just confirm it was a city department that made the mistake? Gotcha.
In code review.
Okay. Motion to approve case number 15651 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance.
Second.
Motion and a second. Go ahead and cast your votes. You're approved too.
Thank you, y'all have a good day.
Item number 3, case number 15652, request of Brian and Carissa Suchi for a variance to standards for accessory building regulations in the RA Single Family 1 Acre Rural Residential District located at 10700 Oak Splinter Lane.
My name is Brian Suki. I live at 10700 Oak Splinter Lane. Same thing with the other two applicants. We were approved prior to, called later, revoked, and now I'm asking for a variance continuation of the building.
from the board? Nobody signed up to speak on this one. Does anybody want to address the board on this application? Okay, I guess we're ready for a motion.
Motion to approve case number 15652 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance.
Second.
Motion and a second, cast your votes. You're approved too.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 4 was continued to June 20th. We're on item number 5. Case number 15636 is a renewal application of David Roth to allow home sharing at 8812 Northwest 101st Circle.
Hi, David Ralph, here for 8812 Northwest 114th Circle, seeking a renewal of the home sharing application. Would like to see if we could get for 3 years this time.
Okay, anything from the board on this one?
Did anyone sign up to speak?
No, not on this one, no. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's you. Okay, no.
So there is a written protest that was submitted.
I don't think so.
We have a copy of it, right?
It's in the packet.
Yeah.
I didn't see it on the agenda notes.
They can get you a copy of what it is. It's just one of the neighbors.
Yeah.
Just opposes it on. Just doesn't want to home share in the neighborhood.
Pardon?
They just oppose it to, they do not want a home shared property in the neighborhood.
Have we had any complaints or any issues, citations, or anything in the last year?
No, no.
Normally, in our applications, we like to see quiet hours, and so I know that quiet hours, amending your application to include hours, quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. is what I'm going to propose. You requested a 3-year exception. On renewals, we do allow a 3-year exception or period. I'm sure you've got a car limit.
Yeah, and then I just would like to limit the number of cars or vehicles to 3.
3,
Yep, and no on-street parking.
okay.
And
On the driveway, can it have 4, if it has room for 4 vehicles, or does it have?
well, it's a 3-car garage, 3-car. So,
It's got a pretty big driveway. I mean, do they normally use the garage?
Pardon me?
Do they normally use the garage?
Yeah, they can, yes.
they can. So, yeah, we can go to 4 then for sure.
Nobody else signed up to speak. Is there anything else from the board? Does anybody in the audience want to address the board on this application? Okay, I think we're ready for a motion then.
Motion to approve case number 15636 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions with the following modifications. This shall be for a term of 3 years. Quiet hours shall be from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m., a 4-car limit, and no on-street parking.
I think you said 3-car, right?
4.
Oh, sorry. You're approved.
All right, thank you.
Item number 6, case number 15637 is an application of Megan Pratt and Ryan Becker to allow home sharing at 2216 Northwest 46th Street.
Give us your name and address and tell us about your application, please.
My name is Ryan Becker. Address is 2216 Northwest 46th Street. I'm here to apply for a special exemption home sharing license.
Okay. Questions, comments from the board? And I do have some folks signed up to speak on this one.
I'd like to hear from the neighbors before.
Okay. All right, you'll have a seat. We'll get back to you in a second. I've got a Jason Seabolt. You're up first then.
We can let the residents go first. I'm an attorney representing another set of residents.
It's fine.
Yours was on top of the pile.
My name is Jason Seabolt. My address is 2217 Northwest 119th Terrace, and I'm representing the residents at 2209 Northwest 46th Street. It's the property adjacent to the subject property of this application. I believe I filed an objection last week, and besides the comments made in that objection, I wanted to include that parties have been happening at this property already. The police have been called, and I believe a violation was reported. In addition, I want to say that the street is narrow. My clients would like me to say that. And parking has been impossible on that street and driving through. And with this application, they're proposing 12 residents in that house at a time and 6 cars in their driveway, which I think will result in more parking along the street if you look at that driveway. I know it is a circle, but if you get 6 trucks in there, someone's going to park on the street. I also want to mention that I've said the increased traffic. My clients are worried about the decreased property values with having more party houses in that neighborhood. Right now, it's a quiet, family-friendly, safe community, and my clients would like to keep it that way. And do you have any questions on the objections that I filed? I know I included some studies that were made, and it was a big packet.
Okay. Questions for Jason? No. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Esther Brazil, did I say that right? Come on up.
I'm Esther Brazil, and I reside at 2228 Northwest 46th Street, 2 houses away from this. I moved here 20 years ago from a suburb of Washington, D.C. I bought this house because it was a stable neighborhood. Coming from D.C., I wanted something that was already built up. My house was a one-owner house. On either side of me, it's been the same neighbors for those 20 years. Across the street from me, they have been the same. There have been no rentals until a year ago at the end of my block. I'm out in my yard most of the day. I know the cars of the neighbors up and down the street. They know me. This would make more traffic. It's a narrow street, more parking on the street. I don't want loud noises, whether they say they will not have them or not. As you can tell, I oppose this. It's also a family-friendly neighborhood. This is not what this is proposed to be. There are many children in this neighborhood. I hope you consider this carefully. Thank you.
Questions or comments? Sure. Okay, and Will Calvo, did I say that right?
My name is Will Calvo. I live at 2213 Northwest 46th Street. I'm here today to read on behalf of Mike Tegler, who is the next door neighbor to the property in question, his short letter of objection. He's unable to be here today for personal appointments. My
who-
wife and I.
Who's
have
that one from?
Mike Tegler, I believe he's left voicemail messages, he said, I know.
Okay.
In-
I don't
in-
see a written
Yeah,
protest.
in the
right?
store,
Okay,
for him to get his email, and it's out, he had a internet outage.
Go ahead.
The day before. My wife and I have resided at 2212 Northwest 46th Street for 24 years. It's always been a quiet neighborhood with very little traffic. The house next door to us is listed as an Airbnb. We wouldn't have a problem with Airbnb, except it's being used more as a party venue than a vacation stay. It advertises that it can sleep 12 people, which has resulted in a lot of cars and traffic on several occasions recently. On a couple of these occasions, there have been loud music with cars coming and going into the morning time frames. On daylight occasions, we have had our grandson over, and he rides bicycles with his friends. The circular drive in front of the house can accommodate 5 to 6 cars with overflow traffic onto the street, which is concerning. For these reasons, we oppose the request. We suggest a more restrictive format of advertising with limitations applicable. And then I'm also one of the ones that had sent my letter in.
Yeah,
Do
I
you want me
saw
to
it.
leave this with anyone? or-
We have it.
yeah, we've got
Yeah.
yours.
Okay.
It's in the record, yes, sir.
His letter, the one I just read, you want me to leave that, or?
Yes, if you don't mind. Get it in the record, thank you. Okay? Questions, comments?
Another one?
Okay. Ryan, you want to come back and address the concerns, please?
I do want to apologize to my fellow neighbors for any inconveniences and noise there's been. The cars and the traffic seems to be a problem. I would completely be open with less vehicles, less people. I'm not cramming them into the house. There's no bunk beds, anything like that, but if 12's a problem, it is a 4-bed, 2.5 bath. 3 out of the 4 rooms have 2 beds in them. They're a good-sized room. One of the other ones has just one. If noise is a problem, I definitely don't want that. I would be open to putting up like noise monitors outside. I've used them in the past to where if it's over a certain octave for over 10 minutes, it automatically calls the paramedics or police. I'd be open to that. I would also be open to telling my guests up front, if this is able to go through, that absolutely no parties, no loud noises outside after quiet hours. We had our quiet hours till 9 p.m., but we could do 8 p.m., whatever would help. I would love for this to go through. I want my neighbors to be okay with it as well. I want to address their grievances and make it work for everybody. So.
Okay, that makes sense. You own the property, you're not a property manager?
No, I own the property. I live 10 minutes up the street.
Okay.
I'm not an out-of-town investor. I live close. I take care of the house myself with my wife as well.
Well, and I'll say this for me.
Sir.
For consistency and what we usually do
Yes, sir.
is that we put a maximum of 2 guests per bedroom. It's a
Sure.
4-bedroom house. I could get on board with 8.
Sure.
Maximum quiet hours, 8 to 8.
8 to 8? 10, yes, sir.
A maximum of 4 cars and no on-street parking,
Yes, sir.
and a 1-year exception.
Okay.
That's
Yes, sir.
anything else?
Can it easily accommodate 4 cars with the no on-street parking?
100%. If you can see the
Yeah, it's got
picture, I
that
could
circle drive,
have
so I think so.
It's a 2-car garage. It does have a column in between those 2, but 2 cars in the garage, and we could do, 1 or 2 right behind it, or they can have the option to have the pull-out.
So that was one of the concerns is the narrow street. I think the no on-street parking requirement. I would like to know, I know that, how many times have the police been called up to this point?
I was unaware the police had ever been called.
Do we have anything documented?
The code violation was just unlicensed,
Okay.
right? Okay.
As soon as we got that, we
Yeah.
took it off the...
Is there a swimming pool in the backyard?
Yes, sir. We put the swimming pool in.
Okay.
My concern
Yes,
and
sir.
is the fact that parties have taken place, and so were the quiet hours already on the Airbnb listing, and they just were not followed, or what does that look like?
That's what it sounds like that has happened. I could be more,
Good, I'll say from my point of view on that is, if there's additional, that's why you have a one-year exception.
Yes, sir.
If you cannot follow the rules that we put forward, then
absolutely.
I can't tell you what would happen in the future.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
And I'll say this to the neighbors, the only way we'll ever find out is if you call in a code violation.
I like your idea of the noise monitors.
I will do that just because it's easier for me to put them out and then let the guests know up front that this is what happens. It's over 10 minutes of loud music or loud noise outside, it automatically will call the paramedics or the police because it thinks something's wrong. So that is something I can put out and to help with the noise.
Jason, I think you want to say something?
Yeah, I can answer his question about the police. That was made around midnight, about 3-4 weeks ago. I went to the police department to get a record of it, but they did not have an incident report. They just sent somebody to roll by, and I don't know if they didn't get out and talk to anybody or what they did, but there should be a dispatch log, but that was gonna take too long to get before this hearing. I just got this last week, so.
Okay.
But that was, yeah, like around midnight is what I'm told. And then the next day, there was beer cans in the front yard.
Any other questions, comments from the board?
I guess to address I don't believe that we've had this street or these neighbors up here very often over the last year, but home values is an argument that to use with everyone. I've got an Airbnb in my home. It's a 4,500 square foot Airbnb. It's used for parties. So I don't want anyone in the audience to think that their concerns are not being addressed. However, we as a board have certain criteria that we have to follow. And that's why that one-year exception is put in place, because it's a short-term period to give them an assessment of how they're doing. And we have started actually to decline renewals, and I've suspected that will become more often if the rules are not followed. So,
Yes, sir. If I may, I would give my phone number to any of my neighbors, and if they reach out to me, I will meet them where I can I want them to be happy. I do not want to be a nuisance to this neighborhood at all. I want to be able to work it out if they're willing to meet me in the middle.
okay.
Go ahead.
Well, you mentioned the one thing.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
If this is going to be permitted for 1 year.
Yes, sir.
Then certainly we want your phone number, because we want to know
Absolutely.
who we can call to shut it
100%.
down.
Absolutely.
You have 2 kids, a newborn
Yes,
yourself.
brand new. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would love to. I met you.
Yeah,
So
yeah. When you said you were going to move in.
That was our plan. That was our plan. And then the baby came, and when we hit the gas line, putting the pool in,
Understand.
it was just
I
juggling
own a
act.
rental at the
Yes,
end of
sir.
the street.
We had
I mean,
talked about that.
So it's not,
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So it is important that you communicate with all those neighbors, and
Absolutely.
whether you put a flyer or
just
just
to point
talk
out,
to them here.
everyone in that room,
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, we're all either,
so you have a lot of eyes on you.
Yes, of course.
one last one.
Sure.
It stinks to be turned into, now I've got to take pictures and
Right.
videos. That's just the only downside.
Absolutely.
I love to go to bed at 9.
Yes, of
I
course.
hate taking photos at 11:30 in the morning
Of course.
when there's massive parties.
Absolutely.
So that's all. I just
Do
want
not
that.
want that. Sir, thank you.
Anything else from the board?
Now, and you said you were agreeable to quiet hours 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're ready for a motion then.
Motion to approve case number 15637 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions with the following modifications. Maximum number of guests shall be 8. Maximum number of vehicles shall be 4, no on-street parking. Quiet hours are adjusted to be 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. and noise monitors installed.
1 year exception.
And a 1 year exception.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. All right. We'll see you back in a year.
Thank you.
Item number 7, case number 15638 is a renewal application of Andrea and Donald Donahue to allow home sharing at 837 Northwest 33rd Street.
Hello, my name is Ryan Donahue. I am the son of Andrea and Rick Donahue, who own 837 Northwest 33rd. I live at 3616 North Indiana, just a mile down the road. And we would like to request, if possible, a 3-year license.
Nobody signed up to speak on this one. Anything from the board?
On your application, you did ask for a 1 year.
Oh, well, my parents, I guess.
Or they did. So
Okay.
we can make that adjustment, and then I'd like to make one other adjustment,
Uh-huh.
and that is to maximize the number of vehicles to 3.
Is it more?
It doesn't
Or- oh,
have it.
Okay, okay, yeah.
So
it
just
should-
to add that to the
Yeah.
application.
Easy.
Excuse me.
Nobody signed up on this one. Does anybody want to address the board on this application?
Can this easily accommodate the three vehicles?
Oh, yeah. It has a long driveway with a carport that you can drive past all the way down to a garage. So it could probably fit 4, but we would hopefully never have more than like 2 cars. We usually only have 1.
For quiet hours, say from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., I'm going to make an adjustment from 10 to 8.
Okay. We have a strict no party rule.
With the fact that it can fit 3 cars in the driveway, do you need on-street parking?
No.
Thank you.
Okay,
Ready?
I think we're ready for a motion.
Motion is to approve case number 15638 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions with the following modifications. This shall be for a term of 3 years. Quiet hours are adjusted to be 10 p.m. to 8 a.m., a 3-car maximum with no on-street parking.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
All right, thank you very much.
Item number 8, case number 15639 is a renewal application of Chris Nunnery on behalf of Quality First Properties to allow home sharing at 11337 North May, Unit A.
Good afternoon. My name's Chris Nunnery with Quality Properties. I'm just requesting a renewal on our home sharing application.
Any questions, comments from the board yet? Got one signed up.
Let's hear from the neighbor.
Yeah. Patty Howard. Okay, your turn.
Yeah, you got to come up and speak.
Hi. I'm Patty Howard. I'm the owner of a condominium at 11323 North May, number A like Apple. I have owned that condo for a number of years. And as our condominium ownership has gone through a lot of changes, this latest change of investors who own in there, converting them into Airbnbs. And the difficulty that creates, we become a motel situation. We have transient people. We have individuals walking around in boxer shorts and shoeless. We have noise issues, not a great deal, and they're not always with Mr. Nunnery. But when I bought my home, I entered into an agreement with the other owners, and we were considered a family unit next to a very expensive residential area. So we've had a pickup in traffic, we've had a pickup in noise, we've had a pickup in police calls out to the Barrington. And I would like to maintain my home. I bought it, I paid for it in order to retire, live there, and enjoy it. And I am aware that investors want to create the maximum income they can off of their rental property. But Mr. Nunnery, when he bought his property, entered into that same agreement, that it would be a single-family residential area, not a motel situation. And so I'm kind of looking at this, do not want to deny him the ability to rent his unit and have an income from it, but I do ask for him to honor the agreement he made through the covenant and restrictions for the Barrington and through the general rule book that we all live by, like pick up your trash, do this, do that, you know, park where you're supposed to park. Individuals who come to these Airbnbs do not always know where they're supposed to park. In order to have covered parking, we pay additional money to have that right, in addition to the dues and the insurance coverage. It's just not his renters. I'm not sure what to call them, but it's just not them. They don't know the rules. And so how can we expect them to go by rules they don't know about? How do we expect them not to bring a German Shepherd when there's a 20-pound weight limit on dogs? Do they pick up their dog poo? No, not always. So, you know, it's a community. And when we're turning it into a motel situation, that increases police calls. It increases the loss of sense of security I have as a homeowner there. And so I don't want to deny him the ability to earn a living off of his investment properties, but he agreed to those covenant and restrictions. He agreed to the general rules of behavior when he bought that property. And I'm asking him to honor that agreement. And we had a homeowners meeting on May 16th. We had no idea, other than the notice from the city, that he wanted to convert it into an Airbnb. So I am objecting.
So this is a renewal application? This is his second year?
Yes, and we're not always notified. When Airbnbs first started here, we learned that one owner who was president of the board was renting them out, so was the maintenance guy, and we were having all kinds of issue with the type of people that were coming in and out. And so we're like, no, no, no. And then he gave a 5-year variance without without holding a meeting of the owners and saying, this is what we want to do. Can we do a trial basis? Nothing. It's just like slam bam, we're done. And
Well, I can't be sure on this, but I've been on the board for over a year, and I believe this is the only approved Airbnb in this condominium association. So if there's any others that are acting as short-term leases, they're acting illegally.
Yes, we found that out, and we found they weren't paying the 8% hotel tax fee. And so
phone calls to the city code enforcement is your best option on that.
But again, the point of it is, I bought my home in there and agreed to the covenant and restrictions. I agreed to the rules of conduct, and so did Mr. Nunnery. And why are you changing it now? Because it's more financially beneficial to you? What about our rights? What about our security?
So we're here because the city has allowed these short-term rentals, right? So we're the governing board over these exceptions. However, you've talked about covenants and restrictions. In order to enforce that, you would have to go to district court, right? So that's the proper venue for that discussion as to whether or not he would be in violation of those covenants and restrictions. It's not in this venue, unfortunately.
Yeah, we just don't have jurisdiction to enforce covenants and restrictions here.
Well, I think it's a shame that a variance is going to be allowed for something, you know, that affects our community that people bought in there. With the agreement, it is single-family residential, and I'm paying HOA dues for a motel to be operated, and, you know, I can't appreciate that. I cannot.
Talking to your city council member,
Pardon me?
talking to your city council member and letting him know how you feel was probably the next way to try to effectuate some change.
So the variance will be granted?
Not the variance, a special exception, unless we get a bunch of opposition showing how, especially when it comes up for renewal, we have had instances where somebody was shot in the Airbnb, continuously not keeping up with what's going on in their home, so poor management. Those are the things that we're kind of looking for. But just, like I said, you know, the argument of home values, and we've heard that one, the argument of covenants and restrictions, we understand that. And we don't want to downplay those concerns, but we've got criteria that we need to follow. And so we do that. But as far as covenants and restrictions, which you've mentioned a couple of times, that would have to be district court.
You know, I feel very disappointed because we have an agreement, and, you know, because someone can make more money, I'm going to have to take it into district court to stop this. Yeah. And so we're going to up the number of police calls out there are upping. The break-ins in the cars, the break-ins into the condos, everything's increasing, and it's dragging the property down.
So if that's attributable to the Airbnb, then you can definitely call the hotline to report that, because that's the only way that we're going to know that there's poor management. And I believe that staff has the ability to revoke a license before that 1 year if it's that egregious.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming down. Okay. Mr. Nunner, do you want to respond to anything to add?
I'm at a big disadvantage because I don't hear very good. I have to really be looking at you to hear, so I didn't really hear anything about that. But I can tell you that this property's, we've over doubled the value of the property. We're very respectful to the association. We pay our dues. We do everything we're supposed to do. I think that we're really good neighbors. I see Patty in the neighborhood multiple times a week, and so I would just open that up, that if there's ever a problem, I'm always there. We always speak to each other very cordially, so if there's ever any issues, we're going to address them. And that probably by the end of this year, I'll be living in one of those units over there, so I'm pretty proud of it.
As far as something that she mentioned,
I'm sorry?
as far as what she mentioned about the parking spaces, are those assigned parking spaces?
Yeah. Yeah, we pay for them. We pay $20 a month for the parking space, and each unit has a parking space. And so my tenant they'll have that one parking space, and that's all they have. And so far, for this over a year, I've never had more than one. It's always one tenant, a nurse, a doctor, a paramedic. I've never had a family, a couple, anything like that. So been really lucky.
So does your Airbnb listing tell them specifically where they're supposed to park?
Yeah, the guidance gives them the exact number. They're all numbered, and it gives them the exact number they park in.
So is one vehicle the maximum allowed? Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying they wouldn't have a guest come eat dinner, but yeah, they're only allowed one. They only have one space for a unit, so they only have one space.
So I don't see a one-car maximum on the application. I am going to mention that. As far as your application, I am going to mention one-car maximum. I'm also going to mention the quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m., which I didn't see that in the application.
I didn't get that.
We're just gonna make an adjustment to the application to add quiet hours from 10 PM to 8
I
AM.
have quiet hours in there, from 10 to 7, it's on one of the pages. I have like 10 to 7, and I can adjust that if that,
Yeah, 10 to 8 PM, or 8 AM, I'm sorry, and it's not in
absolutely.
our documents.
I can do that.
Anything else from the board?
Nope.
Nobody else signed up on this one. Does anybody else want to address the board on this application? Okay, if we're ready for a motion then.
Motion to approve case number 15639 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exception with the following modifications. Maximum number of vehicles shall be 1, and quiet hours shall be from 10 PM to 8 AM.
Second.
Okay, motion
Thank you.
and a second. Cast
What
your
was the,
vote.
what was the term on that?
3 year.
For 3 years. Thank you.
You're approved.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 9, case number 15640, is an application for special exception of table property management on behalf of Brian and Yasmin Hayes for a home sharing located at 1609 Northwest 15th Street.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Dyer. My address is 1316 South Youngs. I think this is one of the ones where we didn't have the template updated, but we have updated our quiet hours to be from 10 p.m. to 8 o'clock a.m. And I think that's the only note that I have on my end.
This is the first renewal, do you know?
It's not a renewal, it's,
Yeah, this is a renewal. The initial application was done under the property owner's name. I don't know if that makes a difference on
yeah, it
paperwork.
does. So that it actually makes it a new application because you changed
okay.
the owner
Okay.
name. And did you know that there's a code complaint?
The one a week or two ago.
That I don't know when it was, but
I think we had a notice on the door for having it listed as an Airbnb before this meeting. So we pulled that down and put a 30-day restriction until we get the license back.
did anyone sign up to speak on this?
No.
No?
Does anybody want to address the board on this application?
So-
Nobody signed up,
So there's no driveways on this?
No, this is, at one point, I believe that there was a detached garage that has since been removed.
In the
So
back.
that's what that very top yellow rectangle is. For the most part, guests seem to park on Marion Street.
Anything else from the board?
I'd like to put a limit on cars, a number of vehicles. There's a maximum of 6 guests. So three vehicles?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not sure we've considered one where we had it. So we had a license at one time, but it's been almost 9 months, 8 months.
Yeah, that's where I'm too, on how many years for the, I'm wondering how many years for the exception, because it's kind of a renewal, but it's
Yeah, the
under a new
former
name.
owner was originally managing this, long story, they moved out of state and in that shuffling to us.
And they would lived in the other dwelling on the property originally.
Yeah, they
That's what
lived in it.
says.
It was their, I believe, if I'm not getting it mixed up, it was their primary residence. They wanted to turn it into an Airbnb while they were still here. So for a while, they were living somewhere and managing it and then moved out of.
So that other property, is it a long-term lease, do you know?
No, I don't know.
So I'm inclined to do a 1 year,
Okay.
because it has been 8 months.
Cool.
As far as on-street parking, do you have a preference?
3 maximum.
Three max, okay.
Yeah, that's.
I think along that property, you could fit 3 or 4 cars easy.
Yeah,
They own
very much
the
so.
whole block.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a corner lot. For the most part, people just have 2 vehicles, it seems like, but so 3 should be more than fine. I'm more than happy with that.
Anything else from the board? Anybody want to speak? Nobody signed up on this one. Think we're ready for a motion then?
Motion to approve case number 15640 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exception with the following modifications. This shall be for a term of 1 year, 3-car maximum, quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you all.
Item number 10, case number 15641, is a renewal application of Benjamin Umsdestock on behalf of BAZV Properties to allow home sharing at 16404 Everglade Lane.
Hello, my name is Aparna. I'm married to Ben Umdenstock. We are the managers of BAZV Properties, so this is our renewal for 16404 Everglade Lane. We came last year for a special exemption for the short-term rentals, and we're asking for a 5-year exemption. And any questions?
Okay. Questions from the board, comments? Nobody signed up to speak on this one.
There was a code violation, but it was probably a while ago.
That
It was
was-
for an immobile car.
Yes, and that was actually not a short-term guest. That was a leased tenant, and he took care of it, yes.
So you have 9 guests maximum, but you only have a 4-bedroom home?
Yes, that 9th one is actually a crib. That's what I explained when I was here last time, too. It's basically just queen beds in all the bedrooms. The last one has a bunk bed, and then we have a crib.
And I'd like to add to the application and limit the number of vehicles to 4.
Sure.
And you can use the garage?
Yes,
or no?
yes. They have an app, they can use it. Mhm.
Okay, and then on the first renewal, for me, I'd need to just do a 3-year exception.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Nobody signed up to speak on this one, so.
Are we saying no on-street parking on
Yeah,
this one?
no
Yeah,
on-street parking.
we don't have any, no.
So how do you differentiate from non-adults with 8 and an infant? Does your Airbnb listing show that?
That there's a crib instead of a bed. So
Yes.
9 adults will try to come.
Yes, yes, yes. It's basically, we have crib and high chair and all that stuff, so we advertise that, hey, for infants, we're friendly for infants, basically.
Anything else? Okay, I guess we're ready for a motion then.
Motion to approve case number 15641 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions with the following modifications. Term shall be for 3 years, 4-car maximum with no on-street parking.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, item number 11 was withdrawn, so we're to item 12. Case number 15643 is a renewal application of James Wynn to allow home sharing at 7429 Northwest 107th Street. And I wanted to clarify on the staff report because there was an inquiry on his license from last year. It wasn't issued, but I had a copy sent to me and it looks like there was just an error in the licensing, and that's why they put the hold on it. And they meant for code not to work it versus it just having a hold, and that's why. But he has a new special exception and a new license renewal application ready to be submitted.
Go ahead.
Alan Barker, 302 Reconciliation Way, Suite 114, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 74120. I represent the applicant here seeking a renewal of 7429 Northwest 107th Street. It's a renewal from a one-year exception. The house is the same as it was in the previous application, 4 bedrooms. We're asking that it accommodate two per room. Has a 2-car garage with an extensive driveway that you can see. The previous one-year application, or the one-year approval, granted 2 in the garage, 1 in the driveway. We're asking for 2 in the garage, 2 in the driveway. No on-street parking, and again, seeking a 3-year renewal. I don't think that there were any protests filed. And the advertising for the property has reflected everything that was in the July 20th, 2023 order.
Nobody signed up on this one. Does anybody want to address the board on this application? Okay, anything from the board?
The only thing I'd like to add to the application would be no on-street parking.
I believe...
It says you can put 2 in the garage and 2 in the driveway. I think 4
Yes.
cars is maximum is
Sorry, you're right.
fine.
You're right. It does not say no on-street parking. We're not seeking.
Anything else from the board? Questions or comments? I think we're ready for a motion then.
Motion to approve case number 15643 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the modification that the application says no on-street parking.
Second.
So we got a motion and a second. Cast your votes. And you're approved.
Thank you, Chair.
Item number 13, case number 15645 is a renewal application of Adelia de Lonvillez of Big Truck Tacos to allow short-term rental at 529 Northwest 22nd Street.
Adela? Anybody here on this one? Let's just put it at the end and see if somebody shows up.
Okay, item number 14, case number 15647 is a renewal application of Aaron and Yun Landis to allow home sharing located at 3900 Tamarisk Drive.
My name is Aaron Landis. I live at 3904 Tamarisk Drive, the other unit in the same building. I guess as modifications after taking notes, I would like to change it from 8 guests to 6 guests because there's 3 bedrooms, 3 king-size beds. Then we have quiet hours 10 to 8. I've not had any complaints or issues with noise, as I live in the next door unit. I know about that. Anyway, and 3 years. I thought that we could get more, but I guess 3 years is what we do. And no on-street parking. It is a 2-car garage that's completely empty. They have access to, and they have the driveway as well. If they're ever encroaching on my driveway, I say, hey, can you scoot over? And they do. And 4-car maximum, no on-street parking.
I don't have anybody signed up on this one. Does anybody want to address the board on this application? Must be ready for a motion.
Okay. And I will reiterate the changes that you have announced, but motion to approve case number 15647 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. The maximum number of guests is 6, quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. For a term of 3 years, and no on-street parking, and 4-car maximum.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 15, case number 15649 is a renewal application of Christian Chang on behalf of 134216 LLC to allow home sharing located at 1342 Northwest 16th.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your time. My name is Kristen Chang, and my primary address is 2417 Smoking Oak Road in Norman, Oklahoma. The address of the property for which I'm requesting a renewal to this special exemption granted in 2022 is located at 1342 Northwest 16th Street, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The property in question is a two-story modern farmhouse. It's a three-bedroom home with an attached two-car garage and a long side driveway that allows for plenty of on-property parking. We desire to continue offering this as a short-term rental for people traveling to Oklahoma City for business or pleasure as clean, comfortable accommodation for families or small groups. My husband James and I are honored to be homeowners in Oklahoma City. We hope to share with our guests. We hope to continue to share with our guests our favorite recommendations for locally owned restaurants, entertainment, the arts, and of course Thunder basketball for folks coming in from far away. This is our only short-term rental. It's family owned and operated. We will continue to diligently maintain it to the highest standards. We enjoy putting Christmas lights out during the holidays, changing the landscaping for the different seasons. We do take a lot of consideration in how we maintain our property. My husband and I also own the nearly identical property just to the east. I don't know if you want to go back a picture, the house right next to it. The two homes sit side by side on what was once a single lot, and it is our plan to transition to that home in the years to come after our kids graduate from high school. They currently go to Norman High. So in the interest of time, I know you have the details in the house rules. We're committed to the peace of our neighbors, doing our part to maintain the value of everyone's properties. We are homeowners next door. We commit to keeping the property inside and outside clean and in excellent condition. We commit to maintaining open lines of communication with neighbors on all sides to ensure that a tranquil, neighborly environment is maintained. We commit to offering excellent accommodations for out-of-town and local guests to enjoy our beautiful city.
Okay. Anything from the board?
Anyone signed up to speak?
Nobody signed up. Does anybody want to address the board on this application?
I'm also wondering, I've been hearing that since it's a renewal, you allow 3 years.
Yeah,
May
we'll get
I
to that.
please change that to 3?
Yep.
That would be great.
Yeah.
There was a letter of protest, right?
I did see that from Sam and Daniel Grimmett.
Yes.
Yeah, so they live, I've
Do
not
they have your
actually-
contact information? Do you know?
I'm happy to provide them with that. I
Yeah,
did
if
see
you-
that they moved in 2022, so for the entire time that I've been operating as the home share, they've never complained. So but I'm
Yeah,
very
just
happy.
make sure that they get your contact information. And
Surely.
Then the property to the east, is it just a long-term lease right now?
We actually stay there part-time during the week. My husband works in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
So we
it's just
kind
a
of split our
single-family
time.
home?
Yeah, so we enjoy that property as well.
Is there anything else?
I'd like to just add a maximum number of vehicles.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge driveway with a two-car garage, so, I mean.
5.
Sure. We're very clear with our renters. They absolutely, it's on 16th Street. There's no way they can park there.
And then quiet hours,
Happy to post quiet hours.
10 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Sure.
Okay. Ready for a motion?
Cool. Motion to approve case number 15649 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for special exceptions with the following modifications. Quiet hours shall be from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. Maximum number of vehicles shall be 5 and for a term of 3 years.
Thank you.
Motion and a second. Cast your votes. Now you're approved.
Thanks.
Item number 16, case number 15650 is an application of Lori Ray on behalf of Dutch Lane LLC to allow home sharing at 1932 Northwest 23rd Street.
Thank you. My name is Michael Harkey. This is Lori Ray. She's the owner of Dutch Lane, and it's our application that we did not file a renewal application, but a new application because the former, we did use this as a VRBO, and it was under our personal residence, and it was approved, and we've operated it for a couple of years, but since it's not our personal residence anymore, she's applying for a new application. This is a property that we have rehabilitated 2 or 3 years ago. We bought it together, and it had been used for illegal drug use prior to some of the changes in the law. We went in and completely redid the inside and brought it back to its original condition. It's a beautiful property now, but it is on 23rd Street, very loud. We've done some work on the windows to try to keep it quiet on the inside. The property's just to the west of us. 5 residences have just been zoned commercial, and across the street is a restaurant. We've operated it with one of our rules, no parties and that sort of thing, and we do have off-street parking, and we were doing 1 bedroom before, but we're changing that to 2 because we've rehabilitated another bedroom in there. So that's where we are. We'd ask that it be approved, please. It is solely her property now.
Yeah.
We've transferred some properties, and this is hers now.
Nobody signed up to speak on this one. Is there anybody who wants to address the board on this one? Okay, anything from the board?
Just a couple of modifications to the application you've heard before, but to add quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. Maximum number of vehicles, 5, and no on-street parking.
You want 5 on 2 rooms?
I know, it's kind of crazy, but it can take 5.
Okay.
Right, the driveway and 2-car
We could do
garage.
it, yeah, we could do 5. She can.
And 4 guests, yeah, so. Just
Okay.
Got a garage too, like 2-car garage.
Okay.
a 1-year exception. I don't,
Yeah.
yeah,
You say on street's okay or no on street?
no on street. Yeah, it's right off 23rd. I think it'd be safe to not put cars in the street there.
Okay, I guess we're ready for a motion then.
Motion to approve case number 15650 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. The term of the grant will be for 1 year, quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m., 5-car maximum, and no on-street parking.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, so cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 17, case number application for Ashley Rutowski on behalf of Al Investments LLC to allow home sharing at 11509 Roxborough Avenue.
Hello. I'm here to ask for a 3-year renewal for...
Give us your name and address.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Do I say my home address or this address?
Your home.
Okay. Ashley Rakowski. I live at 7504 Clayton Drive,
Thank
Oklahoma
you.
City.
Go ahead.
Requesting, I've owned the 17 and 18 actually for a year and requesting a 3-year extension or renewal.
Did you see the protest letters?
No, I did not. Is this from the same lady from last year?
There's a couple. I think there's 3, and we can get you copies of those. If you would, just reach out to them just so they have your contact
I
information.
reached out to the one, she actually lives across Hefner in a neighborhood across this, not even in the same neighborhood. I think I just put her down because she was within the 300 and I ran out of people to put down. But I contacted her last year and I haven't heard anything since.
Most of the complaints are the increased traffic and
And I allow 4 cars max because there's car garage that they use often, and then 2 in the driveway. I don't allow on-street parking, and I have it clearly in my listing and when I email the people to check in that it's a quiet neighborhood and to watch for kids and drive slow.
So I think the things that I see are quiet hours, 3-year, 4-car max, no on street. The last thing that I'm trying to understand is 3 bedrooms, 8 guests. How do we get the additional 2?
Because I have a king bed, a queen bed, and then a day bed that has a trundle pull out underneath.
And
Wait.
how many bathrooms?
This one has 8 listed.
Yes.
I may have forgotten to change that. It's supposed to be 6.
Okay.
Yeah, there's only 3 bedroom, 2 guests in each bed. So I apologize. I forgot to change that. It's 6 guests.
Okay.
And it's 2 bathroom.
2 bathrooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 to 8 instead of 10:30 to 7.
Yeah.
Or change the quiet hours, if that's
Oh, okay.
okay with you, to 10 to 8 p.m. or 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Okay. Mhm.
Okay, nobody signed up to speak. Does anybody want to address the board on this one? I think we're ready for a motion.
Motion to approve case number 15653 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exception with the following modifications. Maximum number of guests shall be 6, quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m., a term of 3 years, 4-car maximum, and no on-street parking.
Second.
Motion and a second. Go ahead and cast your votes.
And where do I get the the complaints? Where do I get a copy of those?
Here,
Is it online somewhere? Oh, thank you.
they were in the agenda packet too, so.
I started looking through that, and I was like, 256 pages, and it's from the last time, so sorry, thank you.
So that one was approved. Okay, so item number 18, case number 15654 is renewal application of Ashley Rutowski on behalf of Al Investments at 5308 Northwest 108th Terrace.
Ashley Rogowski, 7504 Clayton Drive. I've been operating this one for a year now and would like to renew for a 3-year. And
What?
this one, I also failed, I'm sorry. The renewal snuck up on me and nothing, I didn't think anything had changed, but from the last meeting. This is 10 max people, max guests, and the quiet hours are 10 to 8. But everything else should be the same.
It says it has 3 bedrooms.
Yeah, because one room has bunk beds and can sleep 6 people because they have trundle beds underneath both of the bunk beds. So there's 6 in that one and then 2 in each of the other rooms. Because there's only one bed and a king bed and a queen bed.
How many bathrooms in this one?
2. And there's also a 4-car max on this one too, because they use the garage and 2 in the driveway, no on-street parking.
Would you consider to go to 8 maximum guests on this?
I mean, if I had to. There's a lot of people that come in that have 9, but yes, I can change it to 8.
There's nobody signed up on this one. Does anybody want to address the board on this application?
Can I ask about the 8 to 10? Like, you guys were okay with me doing 10 last year?
Usually, so 2 per bedroom. And so there's 3 beds in this, and so you can get to 6. And I'm gonna give you an allowance for having the extra beds. I just don't wanna cram that many people into a 2-bedroom home, or a 2-bath home,
Okay.
3-bed, 2-bath.
You also go out and pick your
Yeah.
What?
We're pickier.
We've gotten pickier over the last year.
Oh, okay.
Yep. We were really new whenever you first came.
If there's nothing else, I think we're ready for a motion.
And so there was a code violation, someone called in on it?
Actually,
you-
it was just reported because they hadn't expired.
Yeah. It was,
Oh, yeah, that's 'cause
Did-
my-
Did someone call in on that, or just this? the
It was just
Code
my.
enforcement itself?
Yeah, my license, it snuck up on me and then I
Okay.
took
I just
care of
wondered
it.
if there were eyes on you or not, but it's in the middle of a neighborhood, and so there's probably some eyes. And
I
you
have the
didn't have any
same
protests.
rules about slow driving, kids are out playing, and all my guests they note how quiet of a neighborhood it is and family oriented, because kids drive or ride bikes and stuff all the time. There was no complaints on that one, was there? Okay.
I guess we're ready for a motion on this one.
Motion to approve case number 15654 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. Maximum number of guests shall be 8, quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. for a term of 3 years, 4-car maximum, no on-street parking.
Second.
Motion and a second. Cast your votes.
Thank you.
You're approved.
13. I don't remember what it was.
We're going to swing back to item number 13, a renewal application of Adila de Leon Veliz of Big Truck Tacos to allow home sharing at 529 Northwest 22nd Street.
Hi, my name is Adela de Leon, and my address is 529 Northwest 22nd Street. Thank you very much for waiting on me, well, putting me on the list. This is my third time renewing. I'm hoping I renew again.
I did not hear from the HP Commission staff. Did you have any issues yesterday?
Again, I'm sorry, I cannot hear you very well.
Yesterday at the Historic Preservation meeting, did you have a,
We pass. I pass.
okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Anything from the board? There's nobody signed up to speak on this one.
There's just a short driveway. Is that right? Just one little driveway?
Yes, it is, but the main house don't has it. That main house doesn't have a driveway. So my guest is parked on the 22nd Street in Dewey.
And what was the maximum number of guests?
4 guesses,
Is it a 2-bedroom,
2-bedroom.
1 bath, 2 bath, 1.5 bath?
2-bedroom, 1 bath.
And then I'd like to add quiet hours to the application too.
I do have, they are from 10 to, let me see, 9 to 7 p.m. 9 p.m. to 7 a.m.
So would you allow a maximum vehicles number to be 4? Or, 2?
I have a 3 maximum.
3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And they can be accommodated on 22nd Street?
And 1 in the little drive and 2 on 22nd Street, I think.
Yes, they can.
Okay.
Yes.
As far as quiet hours, I like the morning to be 8 a.m. So you said right now you have 9 to 7?
Yes, there's a school, elementary school in front of the house, so the traffic starts 7 because the parents start driving by.
Okay, that's fair enough. Now, does Big Truck Tacos own the property?
Yes.
Really?
Chris Lauer, I'm in his tent.
I mean, I'm inclined to push this to June 20th and get some tacos presented with the application, but I'm just kidding.
Nobody signed up. I'm pretty sure nobody wants to address the board on this one. So,
Doesn't look like it.
I think we're ready to go home. Yeah. Are we ready for a motion?
Okay. All right.
We're good?
I think we're ready for a motion.
All right, motion to approve case number 15645 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. The maximum number of guests shall be 4 and a 3-car maximum.
Again, what modification, I'm sorry?
What do we put, 4 guests?
Okay.
I didn't see it in the application, so we have to, I wanted to mention
Okay,
four
okay.
total guests,
I have 4 guesses.
yes, and 3-car maximum.
Yes.
Okay. And tacos.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
We broke it.
No.
It's not coming up. There it is.
There we go. Okay, now cast your votes. And you're approved.
Thank you. For how long is this time?
Oh, we didn't.
Yeah, 3 years.
Wait, did you say this is your second renewal?
The first one was for a year, and the second one was for 2. I'm not sure, 2 or 3. 2. My baby's 2.
I mean, I'm good with 5.
Okay, me too.
5 years, for a term of 5 years.
I'm okay with that. Okay.
Okay?
I think that just clarified the motion.
Yes, that was a clarification of the motion.
Okay. So we're good.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Other 2 were deferred.
Item 19 and number 20 were deferred, so we're at the end of our docket.
I don't have any additional items. We don't have any committees. Anybody want to say anything?
We have our election.
Oh, that's on the next page.
Sorry.
And no citizens to be heard. I don't have any other business. And now whose turn is it to be chair?
Not it.
Oh, we don't have to do it at this meeting? Well,
I'm ready to make a motion to elect Mike Voorhees as chair.
Me too.
okay. All right, we vote on that separate because somebody has to be vice chair. Kitty's resigned.
Gone.
I know.
Marcus is not here.
Yeah, we could do that.
The attorney. Does it have to be today?
No, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, we can elect a vice chair after we get another member.
Yeah.
We should have a new member June 18.
Okay. Cool.
And so
So
that
do
person,
Do we need a vote on the chairman position?
If that's what you want, or if you want to roll them both over, you could do that.
I'm ready. I'll second your motion.
Okay, because it does say in your bylaws at the first regular meeting in June is when you're supposed to do it.
Okay.
All right. Make the motion.
I'll make a motion to elect Mike Voorhees as the chair.
I will second.
okay, motion and a second. You cast your votes.
Yay. No, we're doing it.
I know.
Mike,
So
you
we
better
don't
vote
have to
yes,
do it
Mike.
again. Okay.
Okay.
That's what your bylaws say about electing officers at the first meeting in June, so
Well, I'll make a motion to elect Roberta Zeta as the vice chair.
I do not second that. I'm make a motion that we would defer the vice chair vote.
But
to
you have bylaws.
You don't want it?
You don't want to change the bylaws? I mean, I'll do it.
Okay.
Motion to appoint Don Noble as vice chair.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Cast your votes. Maybe.
Doesn't change anything. You can still do your 1, 2 thing.
Get pretty good at it.
Okay. Okay, I don't have anything else. Are we adjourned? Sure.
Hi.